Da, 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 da. Good morning. Raman, I don't know if you can hear me or not yet. Okay, send. All right, I can do that. Give me just a second here. Dee, 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 dee. Okay, and let me. Oh, I don't want to pause it. I want to mute it. There we go. And make this copy for Ramen. Copy. Come over here to Ramen and paste that. Because evidently she can't find my stream. Evidently she got unsubbed from it by accident. So I have no idea where that came from, but that came from somewhere. Okay. Wow. Well, I mean, I was able to post a link. Hey, tall person. Good to see you. Ramen's having difficulties. She can't find me, and her I don't think her headset's working because she said she acted like she could not hear me earlier today. So, yeah, you're right. It's good to be seen. Every day when I wake up on the right side of the dirt, I feel happy. All right, so let's see what is going on here today. Yeah, that's right. Today's election day. All right, and I'm just going to have some fun with some stuff that's going on out there. First thing, yesterday I talked about Peanut and Mr. Longo, the family that had this social media star squirrel by the name of Peanut. And some crazy Karen out of Texas, supposedly. And I'm getting conflicting stories about this woman out of Texas. I'm getting stories that she's admitted that it was her and that she is deleted. Now she is now deleted or closed all of her stuff. Well, good. I voted Friday because my time today, as soon as I'm finished with the stream, I've got to leave the house within 20 minutes after about 20 minutes after 11 my time to head out to appointments. Evidently these government offices decide they want to schedule appointments on election day. They mad that they're open on election day, so they try to schedule people to come in. So, yeah, but anyway, that woman out of Texas, I'm hearing conflicting stories. Some stories saying that she's admitted it. some stories saying that she said she did it, but she actually didn't do it. Some anyway. So because there's no 100% story one way or another, I'm not mentioning her name. I mean, it's out there if you want to go find it. This crazy Karen. And also come to find out that there are videos out there, not necessarily of New York, but around the country of people who had kept pet squirrels and the states come in and collected them up. But these were people didn't make social media stars out of those squirrels for 7 years. And that's why Peanut and Fred the Raccoon are getting so much attention. But other people are releasing videos about the day that their squirrels got taken by the state. But the one thing here I wanted to show you, Mr. Longo released this video on TikTok of what happened. So let's see here. There we go.
The officer opened the back of the toilet to see if I was hiding something in there. That's to find a squirrel. Let somebody come in here and do this to your house and keep it like this. I actually have broken soap bottles on the ground. I have a stain on my ground. This is to find a squirrel. This is to find a squirrel. This is to find a squirrel. You see that? That's that. See that? Do you see this, guys? You see that? You want to tell me that that's acceptable? This is the destruction that these people left in my house. So if you guys want to explain to me how this would devastate you, I have never been in trouble with the law whatsoever. There's another suitcase that came out of the closet. I don't have anything else to show you guys because the mind-blowing thing is the only places that they fucking destroyed was my room. The only things they destroyed were my room. They raided my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
Yeah, they raided his house over a squirrel and a raccoon. And one of the questions they asked as they raided his house was if he had any cameras in the house. Now, why would people who've got a warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon need to check the back of your toilet, need to do everything that these guys did, and be concerned about whether or not you got cameras in your house? Now, tall person. Well, this is the first I've heard that story. The story that's been out there the most is that the Karen called it in, claiming that the squirrel and raccoon had rabies. So this is the first I'm hearing that story. So, and being as the warrant went through the Department of the DEC environmental Department of Environmental Commissions or something like that. That would more lead me to the rabies, to believe the rabies versus OnlyFans and kitty stuff, because that'd go through criminal court. But and they would be going for more than just the squirrel. Ramen, I mean, I could hear you just fine earlier, you and your fan. I could hear you just fine. I don't know what's going on that you can't hear me. So that's kind of strange. But yeah, I'm sort of keeping the electoral map up. Now, Washington State up there, they've got 12 electoral votes. Okay, I can hear you fine now, Ramen, but I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I'm hearing you through the stream or the backstage, but whatever. I'm just glad to be alive.
okay, great. Let's see what else had gone on here with Pink, because I thought okay, well, see, but this whole thing with Peanut has really blown out of proportion.
No, I don't think it has. A single person has proven if they harass the local authorities enough, she'll get her way.
When outrage over Peanut the squirrel's death continues with bomb threats to 10 New York State offices. That's a little bit above and beyond.
Gee, I wonder who's threatening that.
Okay, let's see. Seized by New York's Environmental Conservation. That's I knew it was DEC. I just couldn't remember what conservation. So I just couldn't remember what it was.
I'm just surprised it wasn't animal control.
Well, animal control evidently works for these people.
It's funny, she knew exactly who to call for that.
Yeah. 10 New York State Department Environmental Conservation offices were hit with bomb threats on Monday as the killing of an internet sensation, Peanut the squirrel, boiled over. The DEC offices from Tarrytown to Buffalo faced bomb scares tied to the controversial decision to euthanize Peanut after the agency raided the property of the furry creature's owners in Elmira last week. The threats prompted Kathy Hochul to finally break her silence on the scandal, though she did not address the raid or Peanut's death. Over the past 48 hours, at least 10 bomb threats have been called into the DEC. Hochul's office said in a statement. Governor Hochul strongly condemns these outrageous threats of violence and is grateful to the New York State Police for their work to investigate these threats and support the state workforce. The governor's office was less forthcoming on Peanut's death, Either Hochul or DAC responded to repeated requests for comment over the past week. So yeah, the governor's office there, they don't want, they realize that they pissed off everybody. Hey, Digi, they've pissed off everybody, not just conservatives and not just liberals, but everyone. Everyone is mad that they killed Peanut and Fred. And when you manage to tick everybody off the week before an election, your timing is absolutely horrible. Even Captain Kirk has gotten involved. I just heard about Peanut the Squirrel, said actor William Shatner.
Good morning, Digi.
He was 7 years old and a pet for 7 years. How could he be considered a wild animal when all knew he was being a pet?
Okay, baby.
You can say that about any animal then in the state of New York. Shame on the NYSDEC.
Yep.
So, then Vance said, he was talking about Trump. Vance said he was like, is it really the case that Democrats murdered the Elon Musk of squirrels? Have you seen the videos of this squirrel? He was like a genius, or he was. The same government that doesn't care about hundreds of thousands of illegal criminals, immigrant criminals coming into our country, don't want us to have pets. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, murderers and rapists are in our country. Nobody cares. But oh my God, a criminal squirrel. You know that squirrel was too smart.
Wow, they've donated $180,000 to their GoFundMe.
He was involved in something.
Who was? Longo?
I think that squirrel was a coyote.
Oh, okay. Bringing across more illegal squirrels across the border.
I think he was a squirrel. I think it was a coyote.
He was in charge of bringing more illegal squirrels across the border. Gotcha.
Did I just say that squirrel was a squirrel? Holy shit. Nobody's here illegally.
Okay. Hey,
I'm not a morning
person. Tall person, you were right. Mark Longo and his wife said Peanut's huge online fan base helped drive traffic to their OnlyFans page. So they did have an OnlyFans page. Okay.
I guess everybody be careful now and not be more popular on OnlyFans than that woman.
One lawmaker in Albany was inspired to propose new legislation to beef up.
Squirrels page? What happened with him?
One lawmaker in Albany was so inspired to propose new legislation to beef up animal rights in the Empire State, titled Peanuts Law, Humane Animal Protection Act, PLH, no acronym in there that I can make out. The proposal from State Assembly James Blumenkrantz would mandate 72-hour waiting period before animals from sanctuaries could be put to sleep and sets up an appeal process for their owners. 72 hours isn't long enough. Well, that's 3 days, but it needs to be 10 days. It needs to be 10 days because they can, after 3 days, they can euthanize the animal claiming that they're wanting to check for rabies. So that should be 10 days, not 72 hours. So, but anyway,
There needs to be a way
so
to test for rabies without killing an animal. I mean, you think with all the technology we have.
hey, Eagle, morning. You know, Eagle, it's like I was saying yesterday. When
Put
you
it in
got a
bucket,
government,
please.
when you've got a government so powerful that they are willing to send 5 agencies worth of people out to your house, treat you like a drug lord, searching your house like they did, making you sit on the grass for 5 hours, refusing to allow you to feed your other animals for those 5 hours, taking a pet that you've had for 7 years, then killing it. If that government is powerful enough to do that, they're powerful enough to do just about anything they want.
That wasn't a rescue.
No. And that woke up a lot of people. That it's the John Wick effect. I heard somebody call it the John Wick effect. That they're used to seeing the state come in and taking people's children away from them because of accusations that they're unfit parents.
Yep.
All right, they're used to seeing that. They don't bat an eye too often about that. But you go in and take somebody's pet from them, and it's like, no, wait a second. Especially a pet that's on the internet
That's
a
what CPS
lot.
said when they. The first thing he asked me is, "Do you have any cameras on?"
Well, Eagle, I have,
I asked him if they intended to bring their drugs in my house, and don't do this.
For the most part, I detest CPS, even though there are, I have seen times where, yes, I agree, those CPS needed to come in and get those children. All right. But I think CPS needs to have to go before a judge and get a warrant signed by a judge. Actually present evidence, not hearsay by some anonymous stranger, but to actually have have a teacher come in and say, yes, this is what I see, and testify before that judge. And have that teacher put under, perjury. If you're lying to us, you're going to go to jail. I mean, look at these red flag laws. All it takes is a complaint by an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, mother-in-law, a neighbor that you've. I've got one of my neighbors is perpetually mad at me, and I really don't care. But they're perpetually mad at me about this, about some things.
Police showed up and wanted to know why my toddlers were running all over the building.
Well, unless you were there supervising them, I can see
I don't
that.
want these freaking toddlers.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about when your kids were small, not in the past 5 years.
Assholes. No. No.
So, Yeah, we've got. But now people, now believe me, I fully disagree with anybody making bomb threats over the squirrel. And if you go to jail, if you're caught, identified, prosecuted, and convicted of setting off these bomb threats, you deserve to go to jail. You don't express your displeasure by making bomb threats. That's not the right way to go about things. All right, there's legal ways, more effective ways. You know, what's that old saying? First the ballot box, then first the soapbox, then the ballot box. Eagle, I'm right there with you, my friend. I rarely trust anything that comes out of the government. Even if it's a government I support, I rarely trust anything coming out of it. Just for the simple fact, I've been lied to too many times from all sides of the political spectrum. Big lies, little lies, it doesn't matter. Lies are lies. Granted, some are worse, but speaking of William Shatner,
what happened to people supposed to be held responsible and pay the cost for a false police report?
that don't happen anymore. Speaking of William Shatner, a gentle reminder as we go into Tuesday, I am not political. I cannot vote. I am a Canadian citizen living in the U.S. While I applaud those who exercise the right to vote in your country, I kindly ask you to keep your responses to me non-political. My best, Bill. Thank you, Bill. The man is not taking sides. The man is not taking sides. I love it. There's always a reason why Bill was and had been less than a kind person, shall we say.
He's a character.
In his professional life and relationships, et cetera, et cetera. But on this, I've got to say, I've got to applaud him for coming out saying, I'm not getting involved in your politics. I just live here. I'm not a citizen. But Bill, why haven't you become a citizen since you lived here for so long? My God.
Politics are freaking crazy.
You've been here for 40, 50 years.
Come on, man.
Why have you never become a citizen? I mean, there is such a thing as dual citizenship, Bill.
I'm pretty sure it won't stop him from voting if he really wanted to. Let's be real.
Well,
as long as he expect the correct catchphrases, I don't think anybody would stop him from voting.
He lives in California. Of course they'd let him vote. Let's see here. Just a few things to catch people up. A shocker of shocker. When I saw this last night, I was absolutely shocked about this. Joe Rogan endorsed Trump last night.
What? That's shocking.
To be honest, yes, because Rogan is a liberal. Remember, when he interviewed Trump the other day, that's probably the longest he's ever gone interviewing somebody without token or talking about his favorite drugs that he partakes in. But Joe Rogan actually came out while he was talking with Elon to vote for Trump. And that, I honestly thought that was a bit of a shocker. Because that's not something Rogan's not normally doesn't endorse people. So, and I'll tell you, somebody else that love him, took him too long. Yeah, I don't think he decided to endorse Trump until after he had him on the show and talked to him for 3 hours. And got to know the man a little bit better. And got to know the man instead of how the media portrays him. So yeah, he's going all on out here for now. Love him. Eagle, you have to remember, Rogan's been in television now for God. When was that challenge show he used to host? When he had a full head of black hair. You remember? Do you remember that show, Raman? And Fear Factor, yeah. And even then that he wasn't new to the media at the time. That's just his first show that got him out to the general populace, as far as I know. I mean, that's where I first remember meeting him from. And he just becomes so jaded on, and this is my opinion, that he just becomes so jaded on what the mass media does to people. There's a lot of reports of people out there, male, female, white, black, Hispanic, that said it wasn't until they'd met Trump personally, had interactions, or their family had interactions with him. One of his, a guy that was assigned to him as a bodyguard, temporary bodyguard, he introduced his family to him, and Trump sat there for like 20 minutes talking to his children. And the guy goes, that's what persuaded me to believe in Trump as a human being. So he spent 20 minutes sitting there talking to my kids. He didn't talk to my wife. He didn't talk to me. He spent time with my children. And he goes, that's what persuaded me that Trump was a good man. And no, he wasn't pulling a Biden and chewing on the kids' toes and fingers and arms and legs or sniffing their hair. God, that's creepy. But like him or not, here's somebody else that's I think he's done a lot on college campuses this year for possibly persuading younger generation, the 18 to 25-year-olds, about voting for Trump. And that's Charlie Kirk with his Turning Point USA.
See, that's that question. You can't. Okay.
Tell us why you're supporting Kamala Harris.
Nope, not too sure about that.
Why? Okay, so
Right now, because she's not Trump.
Can you tell me her greatest accomplishment?
No, I can't.
Can you tell me a single accomplishment?
I cannot. I want to leave.
What is Kamala Harris?
The way that guy there was just blowing his mask up because he couldn't. I mean, he's sitting there hyperventilating while staying there, hyperventilating because he couldn't answer a simple question about Kamala or Kamala or however she pronounces her name.
Harris's greatest accomplishment.
See, that's that question. You can't. Okay.
Name an accomplishment of hers.
An accomplishment of her. She got in. She in when she was the Hey.
What is her greatest accomplishment?
Being an idol for
Oh, I wish I had this on the top of my head, but I don't.
Well, as vice president, I'm not sure. I guess
What's
I
her-
have nothing. I'm stumped.
We cannot heal our country until we defeat the Democrat Party this November.
My number one mission is make Donald Trump go back into the White House in November.
why should I vote for Trump?
Can you kind of give me your point of view of why I should vote for Trump?
Then the previous shot, you can see Vivek sitting here next to him. Now he's got Tulsi.
I am thinking of voting for Harris, but I am open to be proven otherwise.
Could you please explain why under a Trump presidency would be more beneficial to me than a Harris presidency?
I want to try to win you over as a liberal for Donald Trump.
Why should I vote for Trump?
There's no guesswork in this election. We know the type of president that Trump was and that he will be.
There are three things I want you to think about when voting for Trump: home ownership, border, war. Three objective things.
People remember the Trump years better because they were better. Kamala Harris will destroy this country, bring us closer to World War III, allow 30 million illegal people into the country, and bring us to a Great Depression. Donald Trump will restore the American.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, Eagle, I'm right there with you about Biden, you know. But Charlie Kirk, he's done a lot of really good. I mean, his turning point, getting out there to all the college campuses. And I can understand why some people distrust him, why some people don't like him. I can understand that. I mean, every now and again, he'll say something. I'd sit there and sort of have to squint my eyes a little bit at him. But I'm sure I've said things that make people squint their eyes at me like, really? And, you know, yeah, there's some things that, no. But I can't deny the effort that Charlie's put in this year. And there's a gentleman, I wish I could remember his last name. His name's Preston over on TikTok. He has done a lot. He actually works on the Trump campaign. He's a gay man, a Christian gay man who has really spent a lot of time on TikTok putting forth the effort for Trump. And I mean, I truly hope the man gets a job with Trump when Trump's elected. And I'm saying when Trump's elected today because I got my faith, my hopes that Trump does get elected. I'm hoping if that Vance does a great enough job as the VP that he's able to step in for at least 4 more years after Trump's 4 years. Because it's going to take 12 to 16 years to reverse the mess that the Democrats have put us in since Obama. Tall person, that would cause me to actually lift a glass of whiskey tonight, even though I've already taken pain pills for the day. I do have to work tonight. So I will be, I won't get up until 8 o'clock. Well, about 8:30 our time before I go to work because I got to lay down and take a nap before I go to work tonight. So I'll be up all night, but I won't be able to stream. That's going to frustrate me to hell, but I won't be able to stream even though I'm up watching the stuff come in. Harris has managed, and this bothers the daylights out of me. This is how biased our news is. Harris botched an interview with a Muslim influencer by celebrating bacon as a spice. Come on, close. Vice President Kamala Harris is getting roasted for refusing to talk about the Mideast war with the Muslim influencer and instead spending time trying to convince him that bacon is a spice. The Democratic candidate chewed the fat last summer. Back during the summer. With Kareem Rama, host of popular TikTok and Instagram show Subway Takes, although the interview never aired. The show routinely features guests, some of whom celebrities defending light, uncommon viewpoints. But Rama, a firm opponent to the Harris-Biden administration's support for Israel and its ongoing war in Gaza, told the outlet that he believed the topic of the conflict was important enough to break his usual protocol and discuss it with the Veep. There's something going on in the world that 100% of the Muslims care about, he said. Rama said he raised the possibility of discussing the war with Harris in each of the 3 phone calls with their staff and the DNC before their chat, but was rejected each time. Harris has been heckled by rallies at anti-Israel protesters who oppose her and Biden's support for the Jewish state against the Palestinian Hamas terrorists. Rama said he was then told by Vice President was going to argue against taking off shoes on airplanes. And only learned when the two sat down, Harris instead was going to deliver that bacon is a spice. Now remember, there's a guy who got sent to jail as a hate crime because he put bacon outside of a mosque. Or was it on the doors of the mosque? It doesn't matter. He was sentenced to jail for committing a hate crime for doing that.
Good, because that's what it was. It wasn't a friendship offering. Let's be real here. We know what that was about.
Well, if the people who painted Nazi emblems on the side of churches had gotten the same sentence as hate crimes, then I would say, okay, fine. But I think the guy got 15 years. All right. I'm sorry, but I've yet to hear of anybody get any serious jail time for doing the stuff to Christian churches like that, or even to Jewish mosques or Jewish synagogues.
Temples. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Rama, who is Muslim and doesn't eat pork as a part of his faith observance, responded to Harris in their video interview. Think about it as pure flavor, she prodded. The exchange led Rama to
that's not something you want to say.
Yeah. The exchange led Brahma to pausing the interview and asking Harris to return to the topic as shoeless passengers on planes, prompted the Veep to instead ask about how she likes anchovies on pizza.
Oh, what a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. She's embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is, that's Kareem Rama. But come on, even as much as and I'm going to be honest, I dislike Muslim faith. I dislike Islam. I have a strong dislike for Islam. And any practitioner of that religion,
Read the Quran, it'll get worse from there.
I've read it. And if you want to convince me, if you're a Muslim and you want to convince me you're a good person, you're going to have to convince me that there's parts of that Quran that you honestly believe are wrong. But then you're not a true Muslim if you say that. So, but anyway, there's now not everything has been ugly about the election. There's been some funny points. Like this here.
So you would do anything for like all the illegals
I think
and
we
stuff.
have to be fair.
Guys, this is
All right, now let's see. If you'll notice, it's got a Harris for President sign down here in the lower right corner.
Guys, this is great. I think we found a new home for you guys.
What guys?
If I were wealthy, I would have bought a bunch of pop-up tents and handed them out and hired a bus to take them to somebody's house.
Yeah. What do you mean? You just said you wanted to support everyone, though.
I don't.
No, they're
Guys,
not
we
violent.
got a
They're
new
not
house.
violent. They're good. They're
Oh no,
like,
hop it! Like just like you guys did before.
Thank you very much.
Can they stay for dinner? Wait. Well, we have your signature. You guys got to drive back down south.
back to Home Depot.
Remember, I showed that postcard yesterday
Oh shit! Yeah, that's not racist at all.
that people were getting that had the Kamala signs in their front yard, saying that on January 20th they would be getting two illegals from, and this particular card said Nicaragua.
They're new aliens.
Yeah, and that they would be expected to house them, feed them, and clothe them.
Oh, not informal. Okay.
Well, that particular card said Nicaragua, but it was all handwritten in, the number of people and the country they were from.
Hey, Spittle.
Spittle Buggies, good morning. I tell you, there's been a few elections, not necessarily presidential election, but other elections where I wasn't voting for a person, I was voting against the other person. Well, I will have to say Bill Clinton. Both times I was voting against Bill Clinton.
That works.
I wasn't voting for Bush or Mondale,
Fucking weirdo.
but that is what it is. What is that, Ramen? Guancelli? What is Guancelli?
Guanciale. Pig
Yeah.
cheek.
Oh.
Guanciale is a pig cheek. It's what you use for fettuccine alfredo when you make the carbonara. Yeah. A carbonara.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never made
And
carbonara.
if you don't have guanciale, use pancetta, which is the pig stomach. And if you don't have that, then as a last resort, you might use bacon.
I am not buying. I am
I've
not
watched it
going to.
made, and I don't have that skill.
I am not going to go to the expense of buying pancetta to make fettuccine. To make anything pancetta is expensive.
Guanciale ain't cheap. You're right.
Well, I've never even heard. I mean, I know what peach cheek is, but I've never heard. I'd never heard of it referred to as guanciale.
Yeah.
But
Guanciale. Yeah.
now we all know, though,
I'm not brave enough to try that. As far as cooking it, if I fuck it up, that's money thrown away.
Exactly. Now, here is a video that dropped yesterday. It's amazing how all these videos have dropped.
Thank you, Spittle. I feel like I learned something new every day.
Pickled is best for cooking. I've cooked pickled before.
Did not know
I've been very pickled when I've cooked. I'm not
amazed
used.
at how creative you get when you're a few sheets to the wind.
I'm not
Come up with
used
all
to
the good
the.
substitutions.
I'm not used to the delay here between you and me. Ramen's having headphone problems where she can't hear me on the stream for some silly reason.
Audio issues.
Yeah, but here
I can only hear you on the stream. I can't hear you in StreamYard.
Okay, that's weird. Do you have the StreamYard's audio turned up? Here's another video. Here's another video that dropped yesterday.
Bye bye.
No, bye-bye. I see your hat.
Good.
I see your hat. You
Vote Trump.
He's gonna lose.
Good.
He's empowering you racist bitches, all right? But you ain't shit. A black bitch is gonna be in the office, and his white ass is gonna be out. We're taking the trash out, loser. All right, we in power now.
Have a nice day.
You have a wonderful day on the 5th, okay? You're gonna lose.
Okay.
And your leader, your cult leader.
Bye-bye.
Careful, lady. You sound like a Karen.
Now she's driving a big ass Lincoln SUV. All right. I mean, right there's indication
How she
either.
gonna fill it up and not feel that pinch.
You know, either she's got lots of money or she's in hock up to her eyeballs to own that. What happened there, Neil? What happened there in Mississippi?
When Trump was in office, my kids were still in school.
Yes.
And they were still going to therapy, and I drove them both ways to and from school, and to therapy after school, and to run errands, and the movies, and the library, and all the places we wanted to go. You know, I could put $20 in my car on Sunday and not have to fill the car, and that would fill my whole car up. And I put a lot of miles on that car. I would not have to refill it until the following Sunday. But
it's been.
Who did she call the cops on, Neil? I didn't see that.
Evidently, what Neil's saying is that black woman there driving that Lincoln called the cops on the white guy wearing the MAGA hat. Oh.
Yeah, people forget there's cameras everywhere now in parking lots, people passing by. I mean, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Intersections, all that good stuff.
But then, I mean, I don't have that video. I looked for it this morning and I couldn't find it. You saw the video of the guy who went to vote. He was wearing the Let's Go Brandon hat. And they made him take it off.
A shirt or a hat?
He's wearing a hat. And they made him take it off at the elections booth.
Clothing should not be claimed illegal.
And because they said it was that was endorsing a presidential candidate, which you're not allowed within 150 feet of a polling place. You're not allowed to.
One of them.
You're not allowed to have anything, endorsing any political candidates. So, like when I went to vote the other day, I had to take off my Trump.
A violation of freedom of speech.
Well, no, because there's no electioneering within that 150 feet. All right, that's to keep poll workers and such from, or candidates.
I wonder if I got Trump wrong, what would the consequences be?
Well, nobody can see it, so they wouldn't worry about it.
Or a bikini top.
Well, I mean, if you were wearing it out in the open where everybody could see it, then they'd tell
red, white, and blue stripes.
They'd tell you had to go and put something on over top of it. Yeah, I can see that too. TR and then half the U.
Because I don't go out with changes of clothes.
than half the U being in the middle of the brawl than the MP being on the other boob. Yeah, I can see that. But
I mean,
yeah,
taking a
but
change of clothes to go vote, that's some hooker shit right there. No, that's not me.
no, I just left my hat in my truck. I mean, I know the laws. It's like in Georgia, they had to make it because of Biden's staff or campaign people were giving away free water all the way up to the doors of the campaign office or the polling place. They passed that law that campaign staff cannot give away water. That now if the polling place wants to have water available, that's perfectly fine. Well, of course, the Democrats blew that all out of proportion and lied all about it. But just said, they didn't want campaign staff going on and saying, Trump is making certain that you have this water while you're staying in line. Or Kamala's worried about you, so she sent us out here to make sure everybody had plenty of water while they're standing in line. Because that's electioneering where there's not supposed to be any.
You can't buy me with a bottle of water. There you go.
Hey, you would be amazed. That a very prominent lesbian Trump supporter was offered $200 by the Harris campaign to phone bank for him. They gave her the check for $200, so she got their phone bank and started making the phone calls, telling people to vote for Trump. She said she lasted a half hour before they took her phone away from her. So, but she'd already cashed the check for $200, so that money was already in her pocket. People like Harry Sisson and these other people, 20 grand a week, or no, 20 grand a month to produce videos to support Kamala or the Democrats. This young punk made 200 grand this year. Doing nothing but cutting videos. Yeah. Made over 200 grand this year doing nothing but cutting videos. Supporting and posting them on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram. So, yeah, Harry Sisson is he's the one that somebody had rented one of those video trucks and had him park outside of his house. A year or 2 years ago. I want to say it was 2 years ago during the midterms. So, yeah, it's especially, and that's a problem the Republican Party does have. Ramen, your fans going nuts. That's the problem the Republican Party definitely does have is
Sorry.
they do not pay
What?
their supporters, their creators on the social media sites. I mean, they're according to them, there's several very large creators like the older millennial that he says that RNC does not pay him one thin dime to create any of his videos, and he creates 2 or 3 videos a day some days, plus a 2 to 3 hour live stream once a week. And and he does that in addition to running a business, in addition to writing a book, and then he turns around and creates all these videos and does a live stream. Plus, he's getting married this year, or he just got married. So, the man has a lot, his hands full. But the Republican Party just has not caught up with the Democrats on the use. And you would think after the way Trump used social media during his first term, going into his first term there, that the Republicans would realize how important social media, especially like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts, are to getting out the vote, getting people to vote for you. Spittle, you're not going to get the real endorsements are fine, but all your Hollywood endorsements and sports endorsements are going to go to the Democrats. All right, most of your billionaire money is going to go to the Democrats. But if you're wanting to do like Charlie Kirk has gone straight out to the college campuses to convince people to vote for Trump. And the college kids, they don't, their internet, they don't watch television news. They get their media through the internet, through TikTok, through.
Let's get me the Epstein client list and we're good.
Oh, that would. Oh, I'll tell you what I want now is I want the P. Diddy party list.
Never gonna happen. I bet those lists are pretty much the same.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either. You're probably not wrong, but yeah, I can't believe they let P. Diddy. Going off topic here. Yesterday was his 55th birthday, so they let him call home and talk to his family while get birthday wishes while he was sitting in jail from his family. Yeah, there's a lot of bets on whether or not he'll ever, if he is convicted, whether or not he'll ever see the anniversary of his first year in prison once convicted. Because
good luck making it to trial. He knows too much.
Well, yeah, he may Epstein himself. He's got too many names and videotapes. It's amazing how those kind of videotapes and lists never get leaked. That's the thing that gets me, how those never get leaked. Spittle, I know what you're saying by the Republicans wants real endorsements, not just platitudes. But if they're going to convince the younger generation, the college kids, the Z generation, that they're more than what the media and the celebrities like Taylor Swift and such. I mean, Taylor Swift was a huge boost for Kamala. She was a huge boost, even though there's a bit of a scandal because Taylor chose to be with her husband / boyfriend / whatever for a football game rather than going to Kamala's last rally. I guess Kamala really wanted her for that last rally, and Taylor Swift told her no. That she had other plans. But I mean, like I said, I want Trump. I mean, y'all know I want Trump to win. I see a lot of people, doing the what that picture of. I probably can't find it now that I want to find it. But they want Trump wearing Captain America outfit and Elon. Oh, good God, have mercy. I already talked about that. I need to close that one.
My friends made a God Emperor character for City of Heroes.
Okay.
He originally had Orange Man, but they banned the character. Then he made something else, and they had to let him have it.
Okay. Here's Rogan's actual endorsement of Trump. The great and powerful Elon Musk, if it wasn't for him, we'd be screwed. He makes what I think is the most important, compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast. Now, Biden, he manages to step his foot into it no matter what. And I know this is kind of an older video that Biden said this a while ago, but it was started making the rounds again yesterday.
In a sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
How many times does he have to prove that we can't be trusted? Yes. Biden actually said that. And the man is right.
Hey,
how many times?
One page out of the diary.
Yeah.
And one shot of him smelling some little girl's hair.
Oh man, he smelled so many little girls' hair, and sniffed so many kids and women. And I really have to wonder how many times he did that side boob grab. I wonder how many times he did that side boob grab. Or reach over there with his fingertips to push in on the side boob.
And nobody called him out even once. Not Kamala, not nobody.
Yep. Well, of course not.
Yeah.
But you could always see the women standing there. It reminds me of a woman in a bar, staying there and got some guy coming up and talking to him, and you see her pressing her upper arm real tight against her ribs. And that's, to keep the guy's hand from going any closer to her boobs.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we all know that pose.
Yep. Oh yeah. I've seen it a dozen times, well, hundreds of dozens of times when I used to be one of those guys that spent time in the Airmen's Club or NCO Club. Yes, we actually had an Airmen's Club. E1 to E4 senior airman. Once you were E4 sergeant, you were no longer allowed in there. Then you had to start going to the NCO Club. And then you had to be careful. When I was in Germany, you could always tell when there was a major TDY was going on and which unit was going, because the wives and girlfriends of that unit were showing up at the NCO Club, minus wedding rings. So when you started seeing a lot of extra women in the club, you knew you knew there was an organization going out TDY. But anyway, the last thing here was, you can always count on Georgia making the news here lately when it comes to elections. All right. Georgia absentee ballot ruling provides legal victory for RNC on eve of election. The Georgia Supreme Court ruled Monday that absentee ballots that were mailed late to voters in Cobb County will only be counted if they arrive back to the election officials by election day. Cobb County wanted to accept 3,000 absentee ballots after the election day deadline. We took this case to the Georgia Supreme Court and won. Election day is election day, not the week after. That is something, that's what was it? That was the case in Pennsylvania. Last election, they were able to, the governor decided that they would accept absentee ballots for, long after the election day was over with. Last week, it was revealed that 3,000 absentee ballots were mailed late to voters in Cobb County, just days to spare ahead of Election Day. The county judge ruled on November the 1st that Cobb County Board of Elections could count the ballots if they arrived by 5 p.m. on November 8th and were postmarked by 7 p.m. November 5th. On Monday, the state Supreme Court granted an emergency motion ruling that the ballots can only be counted if they are received by 7 p.m. Tuesday. Now, 3,000 ballots may not sound like a lot, especially coming out of just one county. But 3,000 ballots can turn in a close election.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Mm-hmm.
So, no, these ladies, guys, Let's see. You want to speak freely again. Keep getting services unavailable notifications. Wow. All right. Spittle, I have no idea what a squiggly squetch
We know
from
YouTube is
Invader
racist.
Zim is. What is a squiggly squetch?
I don't know either, but I do love Invader Zim. It's freaking adorable.
I don't know
Do we
what
want to know
Invader.
at this point?
I do not know
I have
what.
a feeling it's one of those things where you ask a question and immediately regret it. It's very weird answering you and then hearing my own reply a minute later. And
Yep.
then hearing your reply to that.
Okay. I'm okay. SQUETCH. U E. Okay. Invader Zim.
I love that cartoon so much.
Okay. A Sketch Invader by Sketch Invader Zim. What is this about today's cartoons being nothing but straight lines going off either 90-degree or 45-degree angles? Don't these people know how to draw anything besides straight lines and angles? Have they never heard of a curve?
I don't know. Look at friggin' Gumball. Damn.
Gumball.
Oh, they're rebooting Voltron again.
Oh no.
It's a cartoon style. It's fucking awesome.
And then they'll probably. I wasn't a fan of the original Voltron, but compared to that last mess they had, the original Voltron was a masterpiece. What? Have I hurt you? Did I hurt you, Ramen?
Yes, deep in my soul. How could you not like Voltron? Yes.
The original Voltron was fair to Midland, but no, I mean, no great shakes.
With the 5 lions. Fair to Midland. No, I had to watch that every day before I get to my school bus. It was great. That and Macross. Robotech Man.
No.
That
we
and,
could,
and Robotech Man every morning. Robotech and Voltron.
we didn't watch any television. Well, once we got television, we didn't watch any TV before going to school. Mostly we got up, got dressed, ate breakfast, did chores, and then we're out the door in time to walk about a quarter mile to the bus stop. Oh, the old Hanna-Barberas, yeah.
Oh.
The old Hanna-Barbera cartoons were great.
Me too, Spittle. Scooby-Doo. Where are you?
Now my favorite sort of realistic cartoon that I enjoyed was Johnny Quest. Semi-realism cartoon, I guess you'd say. Johnny Quest was the best.
What was the other one? The Shmoo and Captain Caveman. Hong Kong Phooey, yo.
Okay. Now here's a question. Somebody posed this question this morning,
What?
and
Don't judge
you know,
me.
under the current Constitution and laws, all right, you do not have to be a citizen of the United States to be counted for representation in the House of Representatives. So even as every illegal brought into the country,
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard, but go on.
simply because they reside within the borders, are counted towards during the census towards the House for your representatives in the House. And somebody raised a question, you know, how would states like California do if every illegal was removed from the country? How would the reapportionment of the House seats and therefore the electoral college votes go? Because as you can see, you know, California gets 55 electoral college votes. And that goes very strongly Democrat.
Any other country that does this?
Well, neither do I.
Oh my God.
Most countries do what they can to kick out illegals.
So what was the actual question?
So the question is how would the reapportionment of House of Representative members, thus the electoral college votes, how would that happen? Or what would happen? Because, you know, there's going to be a minimum of 3 votes to a state. There's going to be a minimum of 3 because you get 2 votes for your, because there's always going to be a minimum of 2 members of the House of Representatives. And there's always going to be a minimum of 1 vote for your senator. Or I'm sorry, 2 votes for senators and 1 vote for members of the House. I had that back asswards. Okay, because that, you know, every state's got 2 senators. That's why you see like North and South Dakota there having 3 electoral votes, Wyoming having 3. But California, Texas, Florida, New York. So we're talking 29, 38, 55 electoral votes.
Don't creep. Thank you, baby.
You know, that's a lot of electoral votes. I mean, especially when you only need 270 to win. Some people have said that there would be no real change.
Right.
Other people have said that, like, California would lose up to 6 seats, therefore up to 6 electoral votes. And other states would therefore gain electoral votes. Other people have said that it would be a wash, that there's enough illegals in every state that it would be a wash. Now, personally, I'd love to see a constitutional amendment where only U.S. citizens were counted. and you had to prove your U.S. citizenship.
What, baby? Oh, but it's over there.
Yeah, that's Spittle. I agree with my gut feeling is California would lose the 5 or 6 electoral college votes, and because they'd lose that many. I think they'd lose that many seats in the House, which would not bother me at all. Then there also was the plan at one time to split California in half and make 2 states out of it. And the southern half would be strongly Democratic, while the northern half would be very conservative. But again, that was before the 20 million influx of illegals over the past 4 years. That was the last time I saw those numbers. Well, Reagan made a huge mistake. And I can understand why he made it, because he trusted Tip O'Neill. Because Tip O'Neill had never really screwed him over. But Tip O'Neill, I think it's more the factor that Tip O'Neill got screwed over by the Democratic Party. When Reagan agreed to giving amnesty and the Democrats agreed to strengthen the southern and northern borders. But of course, it turned out that, here it is 40 years later, and we're still talking about strengthening the southern border. And the only person who's actually done anything about the southern border in attempting to do it was Trump. And now, of course, Kamala is a late turn. She's suddenly had a conversion therapy into the southern border needs some protections. But I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here, guys. It's 10:35 my time. I want you guys to get, I want you guys to go vote. I really do. If you haven't voted already, I want you to go vote. I want you to grab your neighbor, your closest frenemy, whatever. I would love tonight, while I'm at work, hear that Trump won. That would make me happy. Unfortunately, I can't do any streaming tonight because in about, let's see here, in about 6 hours, I got to lay down and take a nap, and then I won't get home from work until 7:30-ish, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And unless I do a half-assed stream, half awake stream, that'll be about the best you'll get out of me tomorrow. But everyone, I want you to go vote. All right. Vote your conscience, vote what's good, not just for you as an individual, but for us as a nation. And if you honestly believe that Kamala is the best thing for us for the nation, then I don't know what to say, but, vote your conscience. But regardless of how you vote, just be willing to accept either the praise or the blame for how that person does. 'Cause, yeah, I hear people say, well, my vote don't matter. And in that matter, when it comes to that, because say, well, look, there's a million people in the, couple million people in my state, and how is my vote going to matter? Da 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 da. Well, if enough people think that way, that their vote don't matter, then that person that they would have voted for isn't going to win. So every vote does matter. Yeah, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. It was that one straw. Could have been anybody's one straw, but it was that one straw that broke that camel's back. It was that one drop of water too many that caused the sink to overfill. There's that one drop on top of all the other drops. So all of your votes, all of our votes are important. But anyway, y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Get out there and vote. And we'll see how sometime tomorrow, we'll see how the next 4 years is going to look. Because we will start seeing the court cases running rampant this evening. Start seeing the lawyers showing up, filing lawsuits. So be with the ones you love the ones that you're with, and go vote.